Today we're looking again at one of the slightly more unusual or less well-known names or images for Jesus, and that's Jesus as Cornerstone. Listen to these words from Paul's letter to the Ephesians, chapter 2, verses 19 and 20. So then, you are no longer strangers and aliens, but you are fellow citizens with the saints and members of the household of God, built on the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Christ Jesus himself being the cornerstone. It's a slightly funny image, I think, for us. Jesus as a big block of masonry, a big stone of some kind. But actually, it is an amazing picture, isn't it? It's a picture of God's people, the church, as this beautiful, giant building that's growing all the time, with Jesus as the foundation stone. And I think it's quite hard to get our heads around because we don't tend to build with cornerstones that much anymore. But as I was walking back from Westfield after doing some Christmas shopping last week and seeing the big tower blocks that are currently being built there and the enormous reinforced concrete cores in those blocks, that suddenly kind of brought this image to mind for me, and I found that quite helpful to imagine that picture. Jesus is like the reinforced concrete core that's the absolute centre of this amazing building that God is building, and this building made of people all throughout the world to glorify him. And I've found that image of Jesus as the cornerstone quite helpful in a couple of ways, just reflecting back over the last year and thinking forward to 2021. Firstly, it's just a real image of stability. In a year which has been so full of unpredictability and instability, and where all the normal places we look for hope or reassurance, the institutions we rely on, have all failed us or been shown to not be able to cope very well in the face of a global pandemic. It's hugely comforting to think and dwell upon this image of Jesus as this solid rock, this cornerstone, this reinforced concrete core that we can build our lives on. So I would commend that to you if you're feeling still pretty lost this end of 2020, still worried and anxious. Maybe meditate on that and thank God for Jesus the cornerstone. The second thing I found helpful is maybe a bit more practical, which is as Crossway Stratford, we haven't had our own building since we started 4 years ago, and since the pandemic started we have been homeless. We haven't been able to meet anywhere. We've been restricted, apart from in the last few weeks a few times, from meeting together at all. And we hope and pray that under God we will get a more permanent place to meet again in the very near future. But it's been a real comfort to me to be reminded that the real building of God is his people. We don't need a physical building, much though that would be wonderful. We as the church are the building that God is making. We're the work that God's doing in the world, with Jesus as our foundation, our cornerstone. I hope you still felt the presence of God and the benefit of his word to you, even as we haven't been able to meet together so much. And I hope and pray that will continue into 2021.